Valve just dropped a new CS2 update, but it is not the anniversary update that anyone expected. It was easily one of the smallest CS2 patches we've ever received. You may wonder what was included, and while going through each change, it seems like honestly nothing. Valve didn't even drop any official patch notes. Before this update came out, Valve was definitely doing something early in the day. We talked about the 3 DPR updates which happened on the 19th, but today on the 20th, we had 3 more changeless updates to Counter-Strike. These are just changes to the Counter-Strike app that we haven't seen before. So after we received this very small update, even I was losing some hope, but I decided to look further into it, which is where I found that this was a straight up Valve bait, and there was actually a bit of proof for that. Before we continue, Force Drop is a site with a lot of cases for you to open and earn skins. Each one is different, so you have to pick the exact case that you like. They have other game modes too, but right now when you go ahead and use code 40water, you get a 40% bonus on any deposits, so make sure you check it out before it's too late. So when you go ahead and look at the DPR branches, which are the dev builds that they're testing, you can see that the most recent build ID ended in 686 for both the DPR and DPRP, and also didn't even get updated today. When you look at the recent build ID for the update that went public, it's a different build ID that ends in 627. So whatever they just updated is actually not the same as what they were testing. You might wonder about the DPR updates, as we did get 3 of them, and it's not those either, as they ended in 484 and the other was 531. So these builds that Valve has been testing and we talked about have actually not gone live yet, and you can see with these build IDs, and this should be a sign for anyone that there actually is more to come. Now, this isn't the first time Valve actually came with an update this week with no official patch notes, as they actually did the same thing not only today, but also 3 days ago. So you can say that it is copium, and at this point it is deserved, but at some point we will need to get an actual update to the game, and Valve just can't keep baiting forever. Or will they? As well as this though, something which was very weird about this recent update is that it came with no updates to the DPR or DPRP branches. So if you look closely, whatever they actually are running on these builds is still their versions from yesterday. So not only did we not receive whatever they're testing, but Valve is still running on that quote unquote old or new version that we just have not seen yet. Almost like whatever they're testing inside this locked dev branch is something bigger than what we currently have. Whether this update is just a new case with some maps or a full-blown operation, we will have to figure out, but for now, we are stuck with our current version of Counter-Strike. When do you think Valve will finally give us this huge content update for CS2? We know Valve is working on something bigger, so expect it to release whenever they are ready, which may be another week or even more. The reality is that they never promised any update on any specific date, and I'm sure what players are hoping for will still be on the way. It's just only a matter of time. If you have updated your game and are wondering what it was, just know that it was pretty much nothing. Every Valve dev who I usually track has been silent for over a week now. We are just left with these mini updates while hoping for something more. We've seen no artwork changes, which are common before updates, so it seems like after we got this response to the mill smoke, they have just went silent for anything related to the update. Whenever it finally comes, whether it's next week or next year, if it comes with what we know about, it will be one of CS2's biggest updates that we have gotten so far, with multiple maps, new cosmetics, and much more that we don't even know about. Or was any of it even real and just a dream this whole time? If you are someone who has lost hope, just know that at some point we will need to get some sort of update, unless they now are just giving us the TF2 treatment. Whatever this next update is, it seems to be a big one for summer. Now, I saw some discussion about this part of the Air Almas site. When you click learn more and you go to this document, there's a date which says July 23rd. So is this the date of the operation or big update? But when you actually look at the document, you'll see that it was made last year in 2023 and hasn't been updated since. Now, as well, on a page of the Air Almas site, there's also these maps which aren't under the featured section. You'll notice 2 of them are on the workshop, but the first one, people have noticed and pointed out, it's not on the workshop and it's nowhere to be found. You look closely at the image and it's also some sort of train station, which is making people wonder, is this the reworked version of Train, which has been taking Valve so long to release? And while I did some digging and I actually found the source of this image, It's from an artist website on June 9th by 2 map makers, so this doesn't seem to be the unreleased version of Train, but just a map with some trains that hopefully will come to the workshop soon. I am a little bit disappointed that this is the only update we got today, but at least if this means that the operation or whatever this big update is that Valve has coming releases smoothly and hopefully doesn't have any huge game-breaking bugs, as it is expected that they actually come out with some brand new things, for example like the keychains, so it seems like we just have to give them some more time to cook on it. Like I mentioned in my last video, if Valve really wanted to just give us a small anniversary update and just give the chickens some birthday hats and call it a day, I'm sure they just would have done that yesterday, or even today at that in the most recent update, but they just decided to not do that at all. So did Valve just forget their classic celebration? I personally don't think so. I think we just need to give them a little bit more time. If Valve did just give us a small update and called it a day, at least we would just stop the constant hoping for this big update, but seeing as they haven't given us anything yet, they must have something else in store. Subscribe right now to stay updated on any future CS2 news and updates.